Hello everyone. In today's episode, we will discuss the trends in staffing. Without further ado, let's start the conversation by saying that the trends in the staffing industry are not unknown to technological advancements. How is technology changing recruiting trends is in the 21st century. With advancements such as artificial intelligence and robotics, recruiters are reducing interview headaches and avoiding bias in hiring. Since high-tech candidate tracking systems replaced the Rolodex and the spreadsheets of the past, we have undergone a digital transformation. Marketing automation features, watchdogs, automated matching, and parsing are among the upcoming recruiting trends. With these significant technological booms, the once traditional staffing and recruitment industry has evolved. The advances certainly saved recruiters time, but they do much more than that. With new recruiting trends making lives easier, management and recruiters benefit significantly from the improvements. As a result, clients and candidates benefit as well. The companies today can match better candidates with open job vacancies. Having happy, successful clients and candidates who use staffing firms is suitable for everyone. Let's talk about the recruiting trends that are here today to stay for a long time. Your staffing business could have done little to prepare for 2020 and 2021, but thankfully it is not the case as we look forward for 2022. At the beginning of 2021 and again during COVID-19 crisis, Bullhorn Company interviewed hundreds of staffing professionals to learn more about industry outlooks, challenges, and staffing trends. Do your priorities and challenges align with those of your peers? How can you differentiate yourself from your competitors, or what are your weaknesses? These are some of the recruiting trends for 2022 to keep in mind when deciding what to do with your business. We all know that clients come first. While relationships have always been important to staffing firms, the emphasis has shifted in this year's industry. In 2022, candidate acquisition will remain the top priority. Staffing firms were faced with significant challenges because of the talent shortage, but not exclusively. The unemployment pendulum swung from historic low to historic high amid COVID-19 pandemic. So a talent shortage is not the challenge. It was just a few months ago. In changing landscape, building client relationship, another recruiting trend in 2022, is now firmly the top priority for firms. However, does not mean candidates don't matter. Increasing candidate engagement and improving candidate experiences remain among firms' top priorities since COVID-19 crisis, ahead of more traditional priorities such as managing cash flow. In this landscape, and any other focusing on relationship is still a winning business strategy. Next is business imperative, DEI. Demographic equity and inclusion challenges in the staffing industry have always existed, and in 2022 it's not going to be different. According to a 2020 Global Recruitment Insight and Data Report, only 28% of firms have a person of color as a leader, and those only 5% are women of color. The number of people of color in the industry is even lower, with only 16% of leaders being people of color, despite 30% of workforce practitioners being of color. There has been a global spotlight on inequality and inequity for 2021. Consequently, many staffing firms are following in recent recruiting trends to address issues related to DEI. Keep in mind that implementing DEI in the workforce, it's not only the right thing to do, but also beneficial for your business as well. More than 2/3 of staffing professionals say that diverse organizations are more effective than their counterparts. Lastly, work from home is on the rise. COVID-19 introduced remote operations to a few agencies, but it wasn't widely adopted across the industry. Additionally, the COVID-19 crisis made remote recruiting and the use of remote technology necessary. 91% of staffing professionals use video interviewing or video conferencing solutions, or are using those solutions more frequently than before. But don't expect remote work or remote technology to disappear when the pandemic is no longer around, since it is a popular upcoming recruitment trend. The majority of staffing professionals anticipate a permanent increase in remote jobs and remote recruiting following COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the next important question is how to successfully manage remote work. Introduce a chart system for internal use. Take advantage of virtual video tools such as video interviews and resumes. Well, with the sudden shift, a few tips on how to manage remote recruiting team would certainly come handy at this point. There is no doubt that the forced working from home arrangement resulting from the pandemic of 2020 and 2022 will leave lasting impression on staffing and recruiting companies. There are many leadership teams who find that production is equal to or better than when everyone was physically present at the office. Additionally, FlexJob reports that companies lose about $600 billion a year due to workplace distraction, while remote workers are 35 to 40% more productive than those who work in the office. These startling facts show that the recruiting trend is here to stay. First on the list is online recruiting. Hiring virtually is an upcoming recruiting trend in 2022. 70% of companies, according to Monster Survey, recruit and onboard in a virtual environment at least half of the time. Without in-person interaction, candidates find it challenging to get an inside look at the company's culture when recruiting virtually. Second, the importance of the AI, artificial intelligence. It's becoming increasingly common to use AI for sourcing candidates, reviewing resumes, and scheduling interviews. Some platforms use AI and algorithms to sort through candidates based on their answers to questions. The third one is automated chatbots. Human interaction with digital devices is enabled by chatbots, which stimulates process a human conversation, whether written or spoken. By implementing this, we are converting more applicants and increasing the number of candidate leads. Automation and AI is one of the hottest recruiting trends. It can help streamline and automate many mundane and repetitive aspects of recruiting, interviewing, and account management. The fourth one is expansion of benefits. In the past, recruiters have touted healthcare benefits as a big selling point. Still, today is about half of the US employees look for enhanced benefits such as retirement saving packages and mental health coverage. The fifth one is adaptability. Since HR is hiring more temporary and contract employees, Agile is a popular recruiting trend in 2021. This is because businesses can adjust quickly to changes in revenue or budget as a result of this. In addition to the COVID-19 response, the staffing industry typically has a permanent lift following recessions as companies shift toward a flexible contingent workforce and jobs become more plentiful. The sixth one is recruiting via social media. 78% of recruiters now approach candidates on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter sometimes instead of LinkedIn, ZipRecruiters, or Indeed. Social recruiting is a prominent recruiting trend, getting traction with the younger generation. The seventh point, online webinars. Since job fairs aren't taking place in this year, webinars are becoming more popular in the recruiting trend. In addition to being proven to attract talent, webinars have a positive impact on brand awareness and pipeline development. According to a report from ON24, webinar participation has increased by 162% in 2021. The eighth point is technological advances. With all the recruiting trends mentioned above, technology plays an essential role for recruiters when it comes to finding quality talent quickly. The HCM software application can streamline your entire recruitment process, so it is on the rise because it's highly effective. The ninth point is hiring based on projects. It's not just remote working that has become the new way to work, since project-based hires fall under notable recruiting trends. Businesses have restructured their work policies and shifted to project-based hiring to the unprecedented times. It is expected that the market will remain volatile for at least the half of 2022. Businesses across various industries cannot afford to pay full-time staff until they make decent profits, so talent on the projects or contract-based is needed. Moreover, domain experts will have more opportunity to take on short-term projects and establish a better work-life balance. The 10th point we would like to cover: improved recruiting processes. Recruiting professionals agree that investing in a new recruiting technology is the best way to improve recruiting professionals over the next 5 years. In what ways does recruiting technology improve the recruiting process at staffing firms? Staffing and recruiting companies must source, engage, and nurture candidates throughout the entire recruitment process. The process can be time-consuming, especially when there are several dozens of hundreds of candidates to deal with on a daily basis. Additionally, things are becoming faster every day. Thus, placing items faster, aka reducing fill time. Now, the points to ponder is how to streamline the recruiting process. Here are a few things you can keep in mind. Create the perfect recruiting process for your company. Source candidates, post jobs, interview candidates, and more. Each of these steps require a roadmap. Ideally, it will be best if you automate your recruiting process with Recruitment ATS CRM or advanced recruitment software. As many tasks as possible can be completed using templates, sequences, and automation. You can personalize email and text templates with data about candidates, recruiters, jobs, and companies. Recruiters' phone calls provide personal contact points within your workflow and communication sequences. A candidate or a client will have a better experience when you communicate effectively and consistently. It does not mean a candidate won't be the right one for an opening next month just because they are not the right fit for right now. As a result, be sure to build in a re-engagement process for candidates during the process build. The following are examples of how to streamline and automate staffing processes: automated matchmaking and watchdog for sourcing. Utilize an integrated applicant tracking system that allows custom workflow. Sending automated email sequences for onboarding. Interviewing and nurturing a re-engagement sequence for in-place candidates. Another one is social media. Using social media can be a great recruiting trend to reach potential clients and candidates. According to 92% of recruiters, social media is the most effective way to find candidates. Almost all hiring managers, about 96% of them, are on one or more of the big 3 social media sites. 77% of recruiters use LinkedIn and 63% of them use Facebook. You can also use other platforms to help you recruit. The web can be an excellent resource for finding developers if you use sources like GitHub and Stack Overflow. You can show prospects that you are knowledgeable about the job market by sharing quality content, including your job posting on these sites. Prospects will find out about you that way. Social media content examples. Job seekers in your industry can find a useful career interviewing and salary articles on your blog. Looking photos and descriptions for your job posting as well can be helpful. quotes and testimonials from clients and candidates. You can profile your on-site industry experts on your recruiters, highlight video interviews with recruiters, interview process videos, and more. Helpful, consistent, and insightful will make you money behind these posts and using targeting. Now, let's talk about the CRM and ATS integration. Having a sales CRM integrated with your candidate CRM and ATS allows you to process to be more effective and easier to use without having to manage dozens of semi-connected applications. Staffing firms can also match open job requests to candidates with marketing, automation, and implement drip companies and sequence to nurture potential sales sources and existing client relationships with automations and drip campaigns. So how does a sales CRM integrated work? Integration of activity management, linked and connected records for all candidates, jobs, companies, and placements. Candidates and jobs are automatically matched. Control and visibility of pipelines. Having all of your records connected and interacting with each other is the key to obtaining a comprehensive view of your pipeline and your operations. Candidate records link to each job and company they have ever held. Record keeping links placement to clients and candidates. The connections are simple and should be standard. It would be best if you didn't settle for a disjoint ATS CRM. It helps in building stronger relationship with clients. The staffing industry has always prioritized building and growing relationships, but clients' relationships have become the new priority. With that a competitive environment, candidate acquisition was often considered top priority in 2018-2019. Since the unemployment rate has reached a historic high in 2020 and 2021, there was no longer shortage of candidates. Staffing firms are focusing on building stronger relationships with clients and winning new business. The next point we would like to cover is the marketing plan. If you are a staffing agency in 2022, you need marketing capabilities. You cannot compete with your competitors on the market today. And we do understand that's a significant investment. You may have to spend a lot when buying a marketing platform, automation tools, parsing software, budget for ads, and people. Now we come to the part about strategy. Additionally, it is essential to use a tool that integrates marketing functionality into recruitment. Here are the 5 steps to creating a marketing strategy for your staffing firm. Invest in or empower marketing personnel. Outline your marketing strategy and footprint. Set a budget and use tracking to improve performance in high ROI areas. Once you have set the budget, use monitoring to refine it. Use ATS CRM with marketing capabilities or implement an integrated marketing platform whenever it's possible. Automate and use templates. In addition to helping increase engagement and conversions for your entire organization, marketing automation enables you to create more personalized communication path with client and candidates and build more innovative segmentation. The integration between your ATS and CRM is significant here. Automated recruitment marketing examples. Mass communication for job openings that are personalized. Integration of web forms with computerized data updates, nurturing campaign sequence based on drips posting, job on social media, and integrated job boards. Keeping up with the latest recruiting trends and tools is essential now more than ever in order to keep your company competitive. Recruiting marketing is by far the most critical staffing industry trend your firm should follow. The next one is to increase candidate engagement. With the advent of technology, it is easier to stay in touch with candidates and keep them engaged. Online channels such as LinkedIn and email allow communication to be constant. Text messaging has also become more mainstream form of communication. JobVite reports that 43% of millennials will accept it, 46% of Generation X, and 36% of baby boomers would text with recruiters. Ask your candidates if they are okay with texting during the hiring process. They will be more engaged if they agree to text by creating a brand culture. Getting a job is not enough anymore. It involves knowing what the organization is and how it is connected to the candidate. Talent Economy found that 84% of millennials would not take a job if it does not align with our values, and 75% by the overall workers by 2025. The negative or unclear culture of a company can negatively affect recruitment efforts. In order to build the kind of culture you want to see in your company, companies must think about the qualities of an ideal employee. Companies should demonstrate this culture on their website and marketing material to incorporate culture into their products and services. This is important to candidates' integrated talent management. It can no longer be the norm to hire for one kind of position. Forbes reports that 29% of all American workers have an alternative work arrangement as their primary occupation, and 57 million people are in the gig economy, which means they have at least one freelance or contract job, even if they have full-time employment. With the gig economy growing, many great candidates may be unwilling to work for your company on a full-time basis. Some people may be performing a variety of jobs at the moment and have no traditional full-time job to speak of. Employers will be more willing to hire remote employees, contractors, and temp alongside the full-time employees. Recruitment firms are expanding their services in order to fill a multitude of roles. And lastly, data-driven recruitment. Data-driven staffing is another trend that can be predicted. As hiring pressure increases, staffing companies are increasingly leaning on data, further aiding them in making intelligent hiring decisions. As companies increasingly use predictive analytics to evaluate candidates based on both current and historical data, the traditional hiring process will be augmented with data-driven staffing, which heavily relies on predictive modeling, data mining, and machine learning to give accurate predictions in the future. In conclusion of today's episode, I would like to say that, undoubtedly, the unprecedented times have brought challenges to businesses, leading to an upswing in the staffing industry. A digital and data-driven future has already emerged in 2021's second half, and the second half of 2022 will also be brighter and digital. I hope this episode gave you a quick insight into the latest trends. This is all for today. I will see you in the next one, where we will discuss how to develop a staffing plan. Links to everything will be in the description below. If you like our content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. It will notify you about the new content that we share with you every week. This will help us produce great content for our professional audience. Let us know if there's something you want us to discuss in a future episode. You can address your questions directly to me. Until then, thank you, and I will see you in the next episode.